There has been a massive, major change in the Instagram algorithm that I have noticed, that other big creators have noticed, and that I know for a fact small businesses and small artists have definitely noticed because it affects them the most.
James Charles is not happy with Instagram, and he's making that very clear by voicing his concerns about all the changes on the platform recently. But unfortunately for James, by voicing his concerns, he's now getting some backlash from people telling him to check his privilege. Hey, what's up everyone, it's Mackenzie here, and today on the channel I'm going to be filling you in on why James Charles has been calling out Instagram for pretty much days now. But before we get into it, make sure to like and subscribe below. Also check out our playlist with some more of my videos right up there. So this all started on October 5th when James tweeted out, quote, "The first 2 screenshots are my Instagram photos last month. The second 2 are from my photos this week. I've gained followers but decreased 75% in reach and engagement. I can't even imagine how detrimental algorithmic changes like this are for small influencers and businesses." With pictures showing that the likes and other metrics for engagement have gone way down recently. After that tweet got a lot of traction and tons of people in the replies were thanking James for speaking out, he decided to explain himself further in some Instagram story videos he posted yesterday.
Instagram is sitting here adding all these features that nobody's asking for, pretending like nothing's happening, nothing is changing, all while ignoring everybody who's giving them feedback and saying that they don't like the direction that the app is going.
So I'll do my best to summarize the very long series of videos that James posted. But he starts off saying that Instagram has made huge negative changes to the app that is affecting all creators of every size, admitting he is mad for selfish reasons because his likes plummeting not only affects his self-esteem, but also his business and his ability to work with big brands. Adding that if Instagram doesn't listen to creators, influencers working with brands will slow down and or people will just move on to another app. Side note, which is already kind of happening with TikTok right now. Continuing that he's mad that they won't admit that there's a problem with engagement and make the necessary changes. Then saying if creators can't get their posts seen, they'll move on to a different app and everyone will be negatively affected. After all this, there's been a mix of reactions because, I mean, it's James Charles, come on. So there were a lot of people supporting him and thanking him for speaking up, because even though this has affected James, he's still being affected way less than other influencers just getting their start. But there were also some other people telling James to check his privilege and stop whining about all this when he still gets millions of likes, unlike the rest of us. For my thoughts, as someone who is a pretty decently sized Instagram, even I've noticed changes in the Instagram algorithm, and even when I gain followers, it seems like I always get around the same number of likes, which definitely can be a little annoying. And I think the bigger picture here is that big platforms like Instagram and YouTube, or whatever it is, feel like they have all the power so they can make whatever changes that they want, and if people on the app suffer, they don't really care. And I'm really happy that James is speaking up because I'm sure whatever change Instagram made is benefiting their bottom line, but obviously not ours. And there's even somewhat of a theory going around online that Instagram is hurting engagement purposefully because they want people to start paying to promote their pictures. And if they do, they'll get the same engagement as they did before. Again, that might not be factually correct, but it's just something that I've been seeing around that, makes a lot of sense to me. So I can understand why people are hating on James because they think he's just like being a brat basically. But I love it because these social media companies have way too much power over us and they need to be called out when they make bad changes. Alright everyone, that's all for the story. Let me know your thoughts down below. Do you agree or disagree with James? And if you're a frequent Instagram user, have you noticed any changes? But before I head out, I'm going to shout out some comments from my video on Drew Barrymore. So Misa Amain said, "Who takes their child to Studio 54? That place is wild, poor Drew." Yeah, it seems like her parents were really the start of all this. I don't know how big of a socialite that her mother was, but maybe her mom was trying to get some clout off her, bringing her to these things. Very strange. Then Heather said, "She's my age. I saw her downward spiral and her come back. In my eyes, she's a fighter, which makes her a strong woman." Yeah, I love that, how she was she went through those rough times, even being a waitress at times, that's crazy, I didn't realize that. And then to come back up and be the star that she is today, and such a good, humble person, you know what I mean? Just someone that we can really all look up to. I love her so much. Then Raven said, "I'm about a year younger than Drew and I remember a lot of the tabloid stuff about her. I'm really happy that she was able to rise above it all and reset her career and her image." Same, I mean that really takes a lot of strength and a lot of hard work to twist public opinion like that, and she's done it so well and it's so great, and her show is just so good and so raw, and you know what I mean, it just really shows her perfectly, so I'm just so happy for her. Alright everyone, that is all for me today. Thanks so much for watching if you made it all the way here, and be sure to like and subscribe below if you want to see more. I've been your host, Mackenzie Smith, and I'll see you in the next one.